All right. So I'm here with Garrett Wilson. Garrett, how are we doing, brother? Thanks for doing
I'm
this
doing,
call with me, man.
yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for jumping on. I'm doing great, man. It's been like we were just chatting about. It's been a row, but it's been a good one. It's been an awesome journey so far, and things are moving great.
That's amazing, brother. So you enrolled in VIP, or one of our programs, some time back. You're having great success. I know that we are going to be sending you an award out, so that's super cool. Tell me a little bit. Let's just get the elephant out of the room. Like, what is your results that, the reason why we decided to jump on this call, the big win that you had?
Yeah, that first threshold, man, broke that 10,000 a month. I'm doing 11,000 a month right now. 4 clients. I really was kind of struggling on like what niche, what vertical to work in, and I just kind of looked at. It's weird, man. If you listen to what you guys say through your program, like that
Yeah.
stuff works, right? When you're like, hey, find something that you can be excited to talk to people about, and that's kind of I switched from kind of one to the other. I started working with more of the real estate side, whether it's investors, wholesale, or just agents. And I have a background with some real estate myself, so it just really, I mean, it went within probably 30 days of me switching to that. It really blew up, and from there, it's just scaling at that point and taking everything you guys showed me through the program and applying that.
That's amazing. So you're at 11 grand a month now. You have 4 clients. When did you first sign up with us? When was that about? Roughly how many months ago?
So I started last August, right? I came to an event and I started through you guys with VIP and all that. For me, truthfully, I think a lot of that was realizing a couple things. My delay was because of what I was currently doing. So prior to this, my background's in law enforcement. I was on a SWAT team, very, very busy, 365 days a year, 7 days a week. Like, it's really hard to just say thanks, but no thanks, guys. So I had to scale back from that. And I realized, man, like just being around you guys and seeing kind of the direction, it shifted. Like, it changed the path I wanted to be on and the things I wanted to do. And I had to have some tough conversations, right? My wife and I had to sit back and be like, man, we want to go this route. So we had to make some tough choices. And man, I couldn't be more grateful for those decisions, the things we've been doing and the direction we're going. It's been a huge blessing in our lives so far. And it's just amazing, dude. Like, it's been great.
Dude, in such a short period of time. That's amazing. And what I really love about your statement is that you recognize that you weren't where you needed to be. Like, you committed, you weren't where you needed to be. So you made a pivot, you had the hard conversation with your wife, and then boom, like you guys made it happen.
Yeah.
And what I found from coaching like literally thousands of people now and working with them, that's the hardest thing. Like, when they hit that roadblock or that speed bump, they're like, oh my gosh, like, dude, how do I get around this? Right. And I always say, like, you didn't get in your car and put in the GPS, to go to the roadblock and go home. Like, there was a destination and it wasn't a roadblock. Right.
Yeah, 100%. And that's been a big thing for us, right? Like I said before we jumped in, it's for me, I was looking at it with this perception of I can just keep having the consistency of what I'm doing now and just add this. And that's a great thought. And as you start to get to that point, I realized 2 things, right? Like, one, you have to change the path you're on if you're expecting to get somewhere new. And 2, I was looking at it as like you and the other, coaches in the program, like, oh, I want to do what Doug's doing. I want to do what, Jared's doing. I want to be at that point, but I got to do what Garrett needs to do to get that first step to break 10,000 a month. And then from there, focus on 30 and then 50 and so on and so forth. And I think that was huge for me too, is realizing instead of taking on this huge thing, right? Like, how to eat an elephant one bite at a time, big thing. So for me, it was really just taking those micro steps and taking what you guys are saying at kind of the smaller grain level and saying, all right, this is a process, right? It's a marathon, not a wind sprint. So let's put ourselves in that path. So it's been great, man. It's huge. Again, I can't say enough how like grateful I am to all of you guys on your team and like helping me see that, right? It's like you cast a spell and you're like, look, this is what you can have and what you can do. And I'm like, man, I've been doing things I've loved and passionate about, but I've never been excited about like our future, my family's future, right? I got a wife and 3 kids, and dude, I haven't had enough time. And the way my wife put it is like, we've done a great job of creating a life for our family, not a great job of creating a life with our family. And that's what this is, right? It's creating a life with my family.
I mean, that's amazing, dude. I was going to ask you, like, what has this allowed you to do now? And you're talking about your wife, you're talking about your kids, like, obviously, that family's everything. I want to ask you, like, what do you think this opportunity now is going to do for you and your family, like, going forward? You mentioned the future, like, kind of where do you see you guys headed at this point?
Yeah. So for us, I mean, we're having super serious conversations about kind of changing our circumstances and where we're at. Not that we've been in a bad place by any means, but I mean, we live in a place because it's been convenient, because I had a good gig, I had a good job, and we've been able to step back and be like, all right, not just financial freedom, but as we scale this, the location freedom and the time freedom. Like,
right.
If we could spend our time together, where do we want to do that? And so we've looked at moving to different places, being around other family and stuff like that. And really, man, what it boils down to is just being present, right? Like I've never met anyone in any industry that's like, dude, at the end of their life, it's like, I wish I worked more. Like, no one, right? No one said that to me. Yeah. So people are always working, and you work and work and work. For me, dude, I've been working so I could take vacations, and I haven't been passionate about what I'm doing. And now it's this fire of this passion of like, man, I can take this to the next level, and I can have that time with my kids, and I can learn more. And I think a big part is over the last few months, I've realized how little I know and how much I can learn and how much I can grow, from the experiences that you all have and all these different things. So the excitement for us is having more time together, is having the ability to spend that time growing something that we're passionate about, and then just learning more. Because there's so many things. I mean, I see the Bitcoin thing behind you. There's so many things you can jump into. And it's like, dude, I have no knowledge of that because I'm just so focused on going to work, hitting my 40 hours for the week.
Right.
And it's a rough life,
Yeah, absolutely, man. I align with basically everything that you just said. I've been in this game for, 8+ years. And you mentioned you have to micro step it. Most people want the big win, the $1 million like tomorrow, but it's like, well, you don't have the framework to respect that type of money. You're going to lose it and not know how to make it back.
Yeah.
Winning the lottery is probably the worst thing that could ever happen to you. How many lottery winners do you know that go broke in a short amount of time, or, commit suicide or turn to drugs? Like crazy things happen. So, slow, steady is fast, slow is fast. So that's kind of my approach. Anything worth building or having takes commitment, takes effort, and takes time. Right.
Yeah.
And you've been proving that out, that's really cool. So is that the name of your company behind you, Rev Marketing?
Oh yeah. Rev Marketing. That's my thing right there. So, and I used a lot of the same colors I had on our SWAT team, right? The green and the olive drab and that. So I was like, what, I'm going to take a little bit of what I had in the back, bring that to the military, Marine Corps background. So I was like, this is a part of who I am, and this is what I'm moving forward with. And it's been awesome, man, to have something that's yours, that you're creating. But like you said, it's creating the system and a foundation, and slowly metering things into that to grow it, instead of get that whale client and suddenly I never have to work again. And that's kind of this false reality. So
there's a lot of pride, just from you talking about your logo and the name of your company. That's cool. So you were in the Marine Corps. We connected a little bit. I was in the Navy for 10 years, and I was a corpsman, and you were a Marine. So tell me a little bit about, your background, just for our audience. Like, I know you mentioned Marines, law enforcement. Like, what did you do in the Marines? When did you get into law enforcement? What do you do now in law enforcement?
Yeah. So I went into the Marine Corps. I watched Hurt Locker one too many times, and I wanted to be a bomb tech, right? And that was like, I want to do this. And they're like, hey man, you can't entry, you have to lateral to it. So they're like, you're going to need a top secret clearance, and you're going to need to at least be a corporal or sergeant. So I was like, let's go. And I went in as an intel guy by trade. I went with 2-6, 2nd Battalion, 6th Marines infantry unit. And I had the best of both worlds, right? I got to do all the fun stuff, but I wasn't a grunt, right? So it was kind of like, you're the guy with the computer that, got to document everything, and you're out on patrol and doing stuff on deployments. Deployed a couple times with them, and then shipped off somewhere else and was with a different unit. And as I started OJT with EOD on the job training to start that packet, I kind of had to make a tough choice, right? Like, it was 25 to life, Marine Corps. That's what I'm going to do. My wife, I realized this is going to be a rough life for her. I don't know if I'm going to make the right decision by staying in. So I ultimately decided to get out. Had no idea what I was going to do, man. Had no idea. And just said, you know what, this is the right thing. Let's do it. Got out and started looking at all these things, going to school, bumped into some friends who were in law enforcement. And it was a really cool experience to go on like ride-alongs and see, like, it's not what you see in the movies. It's not what you expect or what you hear. It's like, man, there's a level of service, just like in the military. There's a camaraderie there. You're a professional problem solver is really what you're supposed to be doing. So I got into that, and I was out here where I live, where and it was chaos, through a couple of years. And I just said, I've always wanted to be on the teams, be an operator and do these things. So I got onto that. And it's been great, man. It was awesome. Some amazing people on there, very smart. I love their mindset. It's like nothing can hurt me. Like, we're moving forward. But that same mindset comes at a cost when this is what you do. This is how you do this, how you like move forward, and nothing stops you. It puts a strain on your family, right? Like that's what you're doing. That's your focus. And I have such respect and admiration for them. And I came across your program while I was doing that, right? Through the heat of a lot of trying to figure things out. And if that's the route I'm going to go and stay here and all that. And it was just, I've always had this weird thing in the back of my head, even in the Marine Corps, you see affiliate programs and all these things, like there's ways to make a living where you're not just trading your time for money, right? There's got to be something, right? There's got to be something. And I was realizing I have no more time to give. I'm getting 4 hours of sleep. I got nothing left, and I've peaked. I've hit my max of what I can attain. And that really is what caught my attention. I was like, okay, like the financial aspect. And then I realized, screw the finances, man. Like the time with my family, right? The freedom of my time, that's huge, right? The ability to go and location freedom and do that. And that really just sparked. So my background was, from intelligence, military intelligence, switched that over to law enforcement, and everything I realized was very much figuring out a problem and solving it. And that was something that resonated in your program. You're like, you find a problem within whatever vertical, whether it's a dental practice or a law attorney or whatever it is, they need people, and you're helping them solve a problem instead of looking at it as I can make money. How do I help this person solve a problem? And that's where my success so far has come from. Is I get on these calls, and it's not a sales call. It's, man, you got this problem and I have this solution, and let me implement that. Let's work together. And if you're unhappy, we'll change things. But ultimately, I haven't had anyone say this sucks. Everyone's like, man, you're solving my problem. And that feels good too, right? It's an amazing place to be. So
yeah, that's amazing. The bigger problems you can solve, the most money you can make. I learned from Zig Ziglar in his book. He says you can have all you want in life as long as you're willing to help other people get what they want, right?
Yeah. That's huge.
So yeah, and also I've learned from quite a few folks. Another, Joe Polish is a mentor of mine, but he also wrote a book, what's in it for them, So you have all of these, prolific experts and thought leaders and authors and influencers and celebrities, their underlining message always has to do with helping other people. If you look into it, there's two things. It's helping other people and taking responsibility of your circumstances.
Yeah.
That's like the two biggest things I think I've taken anyway from any mentor I've ever learned from, or any book that I've ever read. If you can take responsibility of your circumstances, no matter how crappy they are or how good they are, you own it. And two, if you always keep the other person in mind and helping, giving value to them and getting what they want, your bank account's good. Your bank account's going to be good. That's what I found as well in my 10 years in the Navy and 8 years in business. It's always been what's in it for the other individual.
Yeah.
And if you approach life like that, people got it wrong. They're like, let me take. Let me focus on me. What I've learned also, like, I think you met Dr. Jeff, right? My coach, but he talks about we're really built for survival, and humans are at their root very selfish people. And there's nothing wrong with that. You have to be selfish and take care of yourself first, because if you can't take care of your own mental health and physical health, you can't help someone else, right? Absolutely. Like in the morning, when it's time to feed my girls, I have to wake up early enough to do my morning routine or hit the gym. So by the time they're waking up, I can go make them pancakes and take care of their dental hygiene and stuff like that, right? It's all about priorities as well. So I love that you've kind of made that alignment in yourself, and the results speak for themselves. 4 clients, 11 grand, and there's no ceiling here.
That's it. It's a beautiful thing, right? And you hit it. I remember like the first day, right? And like the program, one of the things I've said is like, you're going to succeed. We can help you, but you're going to succeed on your own, or you're going to fail on your own. Like no one else is going to just make this happen for you, right? And something that you said in a conversation, right? Like if you don't win, who loses, right? And ultimately, it's like, it's all me. It's internal, right? And there's this concept of like, I can't control circumstances in life, but I control the outcome, right? Like just because, let's say a client backs out, or a client like says, oh, I don't like the service, that's a circumstance. That's not the outcome. The outcome is I go and I fix the problem that they didn't like, and I bring that to the next client and make it even better, right? That's the outcome. And I think your guys' program has been huge for me with that. Is like, it doesn't matter what happens. It matters what you do about it and what you move forward with and how you implement changes, and you make this what it's going to be, right? Rev marketing isn't your baby, isn't your problem, right? To make work, and you've been successful. And that's, I think for me, like looking back, it's huge. Like there's this concept. If I want to be good at golf, I'm going to listen to people who are good at golf, right? If I want to be great at basketball, I'm going to listen to people who are good at it. I'm not going to go on Google and just be like, well, I could figure this out on my own. Like, sure, but I'm going to go through the same trials and tribulations of people who have already been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Why not, chat with the people who are willing to put in the time as a human being? And I remember there was a concept someone had said, like, hey, like there's a difference between being in person and having a relationship and being on the phone with someone. And I've tried to take that as well. Like I try and do Zoom calls. I try and meet with people in person. I was out in Phoenix, and I took time to meet with agents out in Phoenix. And that's how I brought on some clients. I said, I'm here. I've networked with these people. Let's meet up. Let's do lunch. Like, and they're blown away. They're like, this guy's from Portland, Oregon. To them, they see it as like, I'm out here for them. It's like, no, I'm out here on a vacation because it's snowing back home. But let's take this time to interact with people face to face. and bring that value, because what's in it for them? And they want those connections, they want that relationship long term. So it's been huge, man.
That's amazing, man. Just for clarification, did you have any experience in online marketing or online tech at the level that we're using it before, like in the military or with law enforcement or any of that?
No, I mean, I use software. Like I'm used to using programs, right? Like you write reports, but it's nothing like this, not in the digital marketing space. I had absolutely no experience coming into this program. And really you guys said, here's the programs, here's things to use. I can go out and learn as much as I want about those. And you guys answer questions. You're extremely available, right? Weekly calls, all these things that I can jump on it and get access to and message and get that information. So zero experience. And, to go into an industry like this where there is no ceiling, zero experience, and knowing that you can grow and scale this, I mean, that's huge. It's huge for me, right? Limitless almost, right?
That's amazing, man. Well, I do want to respect your time, brother. Thank you so much for doing this. I know we're going to be mailing you out an award for hitting, 10 grand a month. So that's a huge milestone. I'm excited for your next milestone, which sounds like it's right around the corner.
Oh yeah.
I think just the last question for you is, there might be some folks considering working with us in our programs. Like, what is your honest recommendation or feedback to them if they're on the fence or thinking about working with us?
Yeah, I would say obviously if they're serious about changing their circumstances and they're serious about like, I want to change where I'm at and do something like that, absolutely, right? 10 out of 10, right? It's a no-brainer. If I were to go back and look at it, I would do it 10 times over, because again, it's not just the cool, I can make money with this. It's those relationships, it's that thought process, it's the ability to change your life. And for me, the biggest thing was, it's not that I was unhappy with where I was. I just knew there was more out there. I knew there was something else that could fulfill that. And you guys really woke that up, for me and my family. So, I mean, your program, who you guys are as people, I mean, it's amazing, right? No one flaunts anything in front of you. It's very much this camaraderie and very much, I mean, you can tell you've been in the military because you're like one team, one dream kind of mindset. Let's help people. So I can't recommend it enough, man. Like it's a no-brainer to me. It's one of those things that if someone ever approached me and said, hey, would you recommend using, Douglas's program and working, is like, if you want to do something like this, if you're serious about it, absolutely. But if you're just going to like sit on your hands and hope someone else will do it, like no program in the world is going to do that for you. But if you're serious, 100%, man, 100%, 1,000%, however many percent, limitless percent, man. So,
awesome, Garrett. Well, thank you so much for that, man. A huge honor to, sit down and have this conversation with you. And, just thank you for being an inspiration, because I know that there's other people that look at you and idolize as well, and that are getting results. And, for the pace that you had it was really cool to see. So, thank you for being a member of our community and just being you. So,
man, I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Well, you have an amazing day, and hey, we'll be in touch. All right.
All right. Sounds good, man.
All right.
All right. Later.